Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurumedeva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Om Ganganapate Namaha Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurudeva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Sadguru Bhyo Namaha Om Namah Shivaya Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 1st of March 2025. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan residing in the heart of every being. We're continuing to examine the glory of Bhagavan Shankar since Mahashivratri just passed. I thought we'll spend some couple of days on this at least. It's so fascinating. The Tattva that is Shiv Tattva is a most fantastic guidance for each human being to make this transition from Jiv to Shiv. So to continue from this analysis a bit further, the third eye that is very famously, presented on the forehead of Bhagavan Shankar, Trinetra or Trambaka, located on his forehead, the third eye represents wisdom, insight, and the ability to see beyond the material world. So from a symbolic point of view, it has that meaning. But as I mentioned before, it's not just symbolic. Bhagavan Shankar is actually a form of Shivji in the Kailasa. So it's not just imaginary symbolism and all that. But nonetheless, for us, if we want to access that tattva, that is upasana. One has to do the Namah Shivaya mantra, one has to go to the Shiv Puran, one has to be a devotee, a bhakta. There's a whole process at play to try to access the Shiv tattva itself. There are, for example, even currently in the world today, certain number of very awakened sages and very enlightened people who have gone deeper into the Shiv Upasana, and they spend their whole life studying Shiv Puran. They do all kinds of sadhana. They do they are masters at the Laghu Rudram and the Ati Rudram, and there's all these different extensive repetitions of the Namak Chamak mantras, and so many things are involved in that when one is trying to do upasana. It's one thing to do a study and just to present some concepts and all that. That's fine. I mean, that's all right. It's very good. But when a sadhak is trying to actually touch the divinity, that requires 100% seriousness. That's not a small thing. I mean, the ordinary individuals in life are doing what they're doing, celebrating rituals and celebrating festivals and going to temples and doing some pujan, whatever that's there. That's a beginning step. But there are those who are very, very deeply involved in sadhana. Any sadhana, whether it is Bhagwan Krishna upasana, whether it is Shivji ki upasana, Hanumanji ki upasana, jo bhi hai, Devi ki upasana. But the upasana has to intensify if we want to realize the Paramatma. And there is no guarantee that Paramatma is going to come to us in this lifetime. That might happen in the next lifetime or 100 lifetimes from now. Nobody knows actually. It is a process to evolve and to grow. Now, there's no guarantee, but one thing is there. Once the sadhak has 100% Shuddha Bhav and there is adequate purification, the preparation is there, then Paramatma does reveal himself. That much is for sure. If there's Akhanda Vritti, if we can get to that stage of Ananya Chintan, Tel Dhara Vritti it's called, then Bhagavan comes to us right away. With the unbroken connection with Bhagavan, without any break. Gunatitanand Swami mentioned in the Swami Nivato, if a devotee worships God for 24 hours, without 1 second of breakage, the Bhagavan Swayam usko darshan dete hai. That is a guarantee. But we cannot do, it's difficult to do even for 1 hour without break. Within that 1 hour, we might be sitting trying to do sadhana and the mind has gone in 30 different directions, so it's not that easy in that sense. But when a person is starting this path of sadhana, there's a lot of benefit. Bhagavan ka darshan and those things are, whatever that may be, that is a different subject a little bit, it's a higher level idea. But that is also possible, that does happen to see the different dimensions in samadhi and all that. Those things are there. But from where we are in our ordinary, regular life, just to have the bhav that Bhagavan exists everywhere, God is everywhere, within everyone, that with that bhav continue, and then continue sadhana. Even if it's like a smaller amount of sadhana, like how we're doing every day. We start at 7 o'clock almost every day. We do 30 or maybe 35 minutes or so of these mantras and all. But if it's done, as we're doing it consistently, it has its force. It builds a very powerful force in time, and it encourages us to continue further on spiritual path, makes our life better overall. There's a lot of benefit even in the very beginning stages. And then the rasa comes, right? So like in terms of like Shiva Upasana, when you start doing the Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, and the different puja and archa and all that, what happens? The rasa comes, the enjoyment comes. You want to do more of it, and then there's a greater connection with that divinity. So when that greater connection is enhanced, then you want to remain in that. The desire is to remain in that connection, not to fall away from that. When that's a very big thing. That is called sadvasana, that is called 100% sadvasana. That you want to remain in that satyam. And everything else continues in life, but the connection is not broken at all. That is the key. So if we have that, then the third eye opens inside of us. The third eye is also available for us. It's not such an imaginary thing. It's a great deal of wisdom, awareness, insight, ability to see beyond the material world. That's the samadhi state, right? So this is called jnana chakshu. The third eye is the eye of wisdom, a perception beyond ordinary sight, intuition, and it is higher consciousness. It is definitely higher consciousness, right? So as we try to evolve into higher states of realization, the Gnan Chakshu opens. Chakshu means the eyes of Gnana, eyes of wisdom. Destruction of ignorance. The fiery glaze burns away illusion, maya, and agnan, and in ego. So that opening of that eye is that from inside of us, we can see things very clearly from all angles. And in that perception, there is stability, there is harmony, there is so much great steadiness inside. There's energy conservation from inside. So the other point also is that the three eyes are sometimes interpreted as representing the past, present, future, or the three states of consciousness, waking, dream, and deep sleep state. So we're transcending that limitation of the waking, dream, deep sleep state, the boundaries of them, the binding nature of those three. That's a big concept. Human beings are just revolving within those three states. They're just kind of stuck in those three states, and it's just revolving again and again and again. And it becomes very difficult to try to see anything beyond that, because our mind is so deeply programmed. It's what sukshma baat hai. It's like it comes up from inside. So as sadhana progresses further, there is a natural harmony inside the entire system. All the chakras align, the kundalini shakti aligns, everything gets aligned properly. And so in that beautiful alignment, we have the ability to do even more sadhana. Think of it, for example, as a scientist who has set up a laboratory. Let's say you've got a very well-trained scientist at a university or maybe at some company, and a chemist has set up the entire lab. Okay, that's fine. But to even to be able to do that, one has to know how to do that. All the background, so much training, so many courses, so many degrees. Then you can set up the lab to do the kind of experiments a person wants to do. Isn't this so? That's true in every kind of science, but there's biological sciences, chemical sciences, chemistry, chemical engineering, whether it's mechanical engineering, any form of engineering. There's always labs. There's always experimentation done. But you cannot set that up, even understand what that is, until there's quite a bit of background. And then the chemist can start doing the experiments in the right way. Just like that, this human body and mind, this is a laboratory that has been set up. But the thing is, the pieces are all here. The question is, we have to have the gnan of how to tune it properly, how to set it all up. Our manovrutti, our indriyas, our senses, our antakaran, it has to align. I mean, someone who is 15, 20, 16 years old can go to some chemistry shop, doesn't know, everything is available, doesn't know how to set anything up, has to be trained, has to understand. Similarly, that's what we are doing. We were trying to understand what is this satsanga, to align ourselves to be ready to do the experiment. And that experiment is Brahma Vidya. It is an experiment. It's not just a belief. Beliefs are there. It's an experiment. When you start doing the mantra sadhana, start doing stotras and mantras and pujan and archan, ye sab kya? It's a laboratory experiment. We don't think of it that way. We don't think but that's what it is actually. To sit for sadhana, it means to be prepared for sadhana with all the preparation, with all the scriptural understanding and retuning and everything else that needs to be done to create the right environment, things like that. And then once that is ready to go, then one is ready to do sadhana to actually move further through the alignment. That's the Jnana Chakshu. So the sadhana that is done by a chemist, when he's doing the experiments and all that, everything has to be balanced properly. All the weight scales and all the different those flasks and beakers and this and all titration devices, everything has to be in its place. Plus all the understanding, the background, the knowledge of how those reactions work. And then the person is ready to actually do some experiment, collect the data, things like that. Similarly, the preparation for sadhana is also a sadhana. To be prepared through scriptural study, 9 forms of devotion, different steps to be taken ahead of time so that alignment happens. Once a person is truly aligned, meaning the internal Shakti inside the Antakarana is no longer being wasted, it's not fragmented, it is not damaged, there's no disturbance inside. This is the platform. Just like a space shuttle. Another analogy would be this, like space shuttle is ready to go on the platform. All the fuel and everything is ready to go. The fuel has been loaded, all the buttons and all the switches and everything is ready to go. Then when we push the switch, it can take off. But without the proper preparation, the shuttle cannot go just take off like that. We also cannot. We also cannot take off into that state of the Paramatma, into the Brahman, until all the preparation is in place. This is what is meant by the third eye of the Bhagavan Shankar. He's showing us, you have to prepare. Then that third eye opening, meaning it is a break out of Jagrat Sapna Shushupti Avastha. It is a break into the highest of consciousness. It is a break out of all of the limitations. But that is not going to happen until we are absolutely 100% aligned. It will not happen otherwise. There's no way. It will not happen. Everything has to be in the right place. All the senses need to be in the right balance. The manovritti needs to be very steady. There has to be preparatory sadhana with bhajan, bhakti, with different types of seva, things like that. And then when the sadhak has reached that point, just like a chemist has gotten to the point where he can have his own laboratory, he's done a lot of years of study in classrooms and so many things like that, then the preparation is there. The big company says, or the big boss says, or the person has their own lab or something. Now they can do their own independent experiments. And this is the point of the Upanishads. The Mandukya Upanishad is saying, become an experimenter of your own life. The Guru is showing, the Sadgurus are showing the path to come to that platform that, okay, now you're ready. Now you jump into Aham Brahmasmi, go further into the highest of realizations. Now, that sadhana that is done through the alignment, that sadhana allows for rapid progress towards God. Think of it this way, like that space shuttle analogy. Years are spent in building the space shuttle and training the astronauts and all that thing. But once everything is ready, how much time does it take, if everything is ready properly, for the space shuttle, NASA space shuttle, to go from the ground to the orbit? Few minutes only. It doesn't take that much time. It doesn't take hours and hours and hours. It takes maybe about 10, 15 minutes, something like that. It doesn't take that much, maybe half an hour or something. It doesn't take that much time. It takes time to be ready for that. That takes years and years and years and years. And kitna time jata hai isme. It's just like that. We are like that space shuttle. This body and mind and everything is like the space shuttle with the energy inside. And the Atman is the astronaut. It is the cosmonaut. That is who we are. And when we're sitting for dhyan and upasana and bhakti, it's like taking off into the highest of consciousness. That third eye opens, the higher realization opens. One transcends the limitations, the boundaries of Maya. How amazing is that? You see, so this is what Upanishad is starting. Upanishads are starting at that point where everything is ready to go. Now you're ready to take off. Upanishad starts there. Brahma Sutra starts there. So the preparation is the key. Preparation is only possible if the destination is clear. If Sachin says, okay, that I really want to realize the Akshara Brahma ka sakshatkar hi karna hai jivan mein. Baki sab karte hai, but we really want to do this. 100% want to go after it. I have to prepare. I cannot just go over there like that. It's not going to happen. Until there is and what is in that preparation? I have to clean up my life, clean up the mind, have the right interactions, saintly, everything we talk about all the time. This is all preparation only. All those ideas, that really having good vairagyam and having scriptural study but tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashtena seva, and all those ideas, they're all there, sthita pragnata, all these things that we always talk about. Why is that? For preparation. So when we're ready, then the sadhana that is done also uses energy, but it is used energy. The energy that is completely in sync is then used as a booster to open the Agnya Chakra, to pierce right through the entire Jagra Swapna Sushupti. And Brahma ka darshan hota hai isme. Vachanamrut Garada Madhya 8. स्वामीनारायण भगवान कहते हैं, बहुत सुंदर बात लिखी है उन्होंने, ज्ञान यज्ञ योग यज्ञ. Continue doing Gnan Yagna, Yog Yagna. Yog Yagna means what? To dive into the concentration towards Paramatma. And Gnan Yagna means the continuous resurgence of wisdom that comes from within by scriptural study and knowledge and by regurgitation of the concepts and ideas that are shown in the Sanatana Dharma. This is called Gnan Yagna. Gnan Yagna and Yog Yagna. Yagna means that you're doing the offering, but you're doing it inside of yourself. You do the outside puja, then that helps us to do the inside Yagna. The outside havans and pujans that are done, archan, pujan, anything, havan, etc., whatever is done externally is also then done internally. So that internal havan, internal yagna, internal puja, internal bhakti, it's all internal. It goes inside. So the connection, like in the case of Shankar Bhagwan, like when we, you see Shivji is absorbed in his own self. He's dhyan mein bethe. You see, mostly dhyan mein bethe. That's the point, that we ourselves reach that stage like that we wind up realizing who we are. And in that realization comes about when the readiness and preparation is there. World and the samsara activity is there, is going to continue. That's okay. Leave it alone. Things are changing constantly in the samsara. There's nothing stable in any of it. It just keeps changing. We know that. We all know that. But at the same time, our destination is what? This is what the Upanishad is saying, that the destination is Akshara Brahma. that destination is beyond this Jagra Swapna Sushupti, is beyond this limited flux of Maya. And when a sadhak realizes this, which is huge, that's बहुत बड़ी बात है. नहीं होता जीवन में, किसको होता है? Very few really understand it, and then even if those who understand, to actually hold that understanding without damaging that understanding at all, that realization that things are really utterly temporary, the destination is Parabrahma, the destination is the highest, because this body is a vehicle. The Jivatma is a traveler. It's a traveler, like in the spaceship. You're traveling and going, then you have to get out of the spaceship and go into the planet like Mars, or they want to go to Mars and all that thing. ठीक है, जाओ, why, क्यों नहीं? It's all right. करो सब खेल, But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where we go. We still have to, the internal journey is the only real journey. These other journeys are all limited. It doesn't matter if you go to the Andromeda galaxy even. What difference does it make? काम क्रोध लोभ वहां जाके भी नहीं जाएगा. वहां भी same problems create करेंगे. Until we are evolved from inside, it's not a question of external travel. It's an internal transformation into the realization of Brahman. There's no coming and going at all. I'll close with this point. I'm going to try to stick to time here. That there's no coming and going. Yeah, we do come and go. We do travel. We have activity. But the enlightened yogis mein kya aana, kya jana, kahan jana and kahan aana. There's no question of going anywhere. Because wherever you are, the infinite reality is there. But then where's the issue of going somewhere? If we do go outside. If we go, then fine, it's fine. Go outside, go for trips, go for vacations, go for this. We keep going in the external world. Different experiences are good. They're good to have. Why not? But at the same time, to realize that when the full alignment is there and the third eye opens, millions of universes are within you. But where's the question of going on a trip to Hawaii or something? It has no consequence at all. You can just close your eyes and see billions of Hawaiis and billions of planets. Can you imagine this sthiti? Aap baithe hai dhyan mein, within flash of a second, infinite universes appear. Universes, not just planets. This statement is there in Vachanamrut, Loya 12. This exact statement. Akshar ne vishe ananta koti brahmand rom ma fare છે. અને એ પોતે અક્ષર રૂપ રહ્યો થકો પુરુષોત્તમની ઉપાસના in Gujarati. Maharaj, what a statement that is. What a statement that is. People are thinking, okay, I have so much billions of dollars. कुछ इसका कोई significance ही नहीं है compared to these Upanishads. Even if you have so much, you're still just rolling around in the earth only. इसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? Maybe you have massive homes, or somebody has a huge lot of. It's all just matter only. It's all going to. This body is also matter. It's all going to turn to dust. Nothing is ours anyway. कितना अज्ञान है जीवन में कि मेरा कुछ है. मेरा कुछ है ही नहीं. मैं ही नहीं हूँ. शरीर ही मेरा नहीं है. मैं तेरा हूँ. I'm 100%. You are the supreme Parabrahma. संपूर्ण तेरा है. What a state. And then, of course, whatever is there in terms of human civilization, we do make good of that. But people are living in this world thinking as if it is permanent, that something is mine. When a person realizes that nothing is mine, it is just an instrument to do seva, to perform activity. That's all. मेरा कुछ है ही नहीं, ये शरीर ही मेरा नहीं है. Then what is mine? Sharir hi, this body is a gift by Bhagavan. Devanugraha hetukam, manushyatvam. Kitni badi gift hai. And not to damage it, waste it, and to throw it out into Vishaya Bhog. Trash it. It's like, just close with this point. If somebody gives us a very special, extraordinary, like a very special gift, somebody gives Sachin, let's say, like $1 billion, like some diamond. I'm just using a financial example, easy to understand. Something very precious. And I say, kya hai? Okay, to take it and go to McDonald's and get an apple pie and large French fries. Think about it. This is what we're doing with this human body. Can you imagine that, taking $1 billion diamond and giving that for large French fries and an apple pie? Think about two. They give you 2 apple pies. I think that's what it is. Latest news on that one. They don't even give you just one. You have to buy 2. This is what we're doing. Life is like this. Vishaya Bhog is like that, buying that 2 apple pie and French fries with this body. His body mein kitna potential hai to do what the extraordinary things that are possible. To realize at the highest levels, what can you do with $100 billion? And you give $100 billion in exchange, you get 2 apple pies and 1 large French fry. That's it. That's what we're doing in human life. Exchanging like this. His human body, just throwing it away. That's why Shankaracharya ji swayam kehte hai, people are committing suicide again and again and again, destroying the opportunity that is given by the Paramatma through the Sadgurus to reach the highest of realization. So not to destroy that opportunity, learn the technology of Brahma Vidya and then get into alignment and take off into the highest of realization, that is Brahman. So let's stop here for now. Om Dhyanamulam Gurur Murti, Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam, Pujamulam Gurur Padam, Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa, Om Divalingaya Nama, Urdhva Lingaya Nama, Ananda Lingaya Nama, Dvadesh Jyotir Lingaya, Namo Namaha, Om Ahim Drim Klim Chamundai Viche, Sarva Mangala Mangalle Shive, Sarvartha Sadike, Sharanyatrambike Gauri Narayani Namostute, Om Divalingaya Nama, Om Shri Radha Krishnaya, Namo Namaha, Om Hrim Swaha.